Morning again, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Thank you all for joining us today. This is Sean with Fluxx, as always, here, and we're going to go over today's training webinar, which is our reporting, knowing your options. So thank you all for joining us. In this session, we are going to go over a high-level review of the diverse array of Fluxx reporting tools that exist. Afterward, you'll be able to evaluate which reporting tool will fit your needs on a day-to-day basis. If you should have any questions, as always, anytime during the session, please jot those down in the questions section. We'll be saving the last few minutes to address these questions, but feel free to enter them into the section as you think of them. So let's go ahead and get started. So in this session, we'll be taking a look at the various reporting options we have in Fluxx. We'll take a look at using dashboards, live reports and where they live, utilizing ad hoc reporting, the powerful tools of Excel, and then we'll briefly touch on some more advanced options. Now, please note that we're not going to be discussing these in depth. We're going to be providing you with an overview of these options so that you'll know what options are available to you, allowing you to decide which path is best for you. And as I said earlier, I'll be addressing your questions at the end of the overview. So before we begin, let's look at the importance of reporting. Why do we need to run reports? Why do we have so many options? What is the value of having these options? We'll go over all that in detail, but no matter what, you'll need to export your data, and knowing your options will help you figure out what path you'll need to take. So why do I need reports? Well, they provide information in different formats that can be used to create charts or to include in board materials. Why are there so many options? Different situations require different reporting needs. Small to big, Fluxx has options to get you the data that you need. So here we see the different options we have from simplest to most advanced. Our simplest side of things, we have dashboards. You use them every day, and they can be used to display your data in real time to your staff. Then we have ad hoc reports, which are available to everyone right from your system. You can build reports on the fly for anything from day-to-day data evaluation to having information to present at meetings. On the more complex reporting tools that we have is our Excel add-in option. This tool allows you access to Fluxx data and the powerful tools of Excel, so you can build crazy cool options in those reports with your Excel ninja skills you have. I know there's some Excel ninjas out there. And then finally, we have the secondary database and API options. These tools allow for truly customizable options for you to take on any reporting needs that you have. So most of you are familiar with Fluxx dashboards. What you may not have considered, however, is that dashboards can actually function as reports for you and your team. One of the great benefits of Fluxx is that dashboards give you a quick way to reduce the amount of reports you need to run. Maybe you just need to see your grants totals at a glance, or would like to evaluate the location of your projects. You can create a dashboard that provides all of this information by using a combination of summary views, map views, and more that can be shared with the staff. By utilizing filters, you can make things much more focused and tailored to what you need to display. If you've never used dashboards for reporting before, we encourage you to give it a try. You can even go simpler and display records in different workflow states so that users have a real-time view of all the moving parts of your current round. You can also access the various visualization options right in a card. By using these views, you can grab a quick snapshot of your data from your dashboard. This will help you see the basics right away without needing to create a report. Combining these with the various other cards can provide you with the dashboard full of useful information right away. For the information you need in report form that can't be covered by just a dashboard, we'll go into the other Fluxx options available for that in a bit. Now, dashboards are part of everyday life with Fluxx. Being able to use them for quick reports and to show your data to staff in real time makes using Fluxx an incredible tool for reporting right from your everyday views. With access to graphing tools from inside of cards to simple summaries of your data, dashboards can be very flexible and eye-catching. Though, what if we need to export data? The dashboards are great, but what about bringing that data out of the system itself? All right, now let's get into how you can take advantage of your pre-made reports. There are many standard options available in your system for reporting, which we refer to as live reports. These are hard-coded reports that exist in every site. They've been created by Fluxx based on various criteria and cannot be edited, though you can always sort the data further in Excel if you choose. For the purpose of time, we want to go over just a few of those which are commonly used and that we think you'll find useful in your everyday day-to-day operations within Fluxx. Every live report has different hard-coded filtering options available. For instance, using the alert detail report, we see that we can select dates to gather data for. Or if we look at the Fluxx system glossary, we can see that we can choose different card types to see data about. Each of these reports has options like these dependent upon what kind of report it is and what kind of data it provides. The alert detail report generates an Excel spreadsheet and can be run for a specified time frame. This shows all email alerts that have been queued, sent, and approved during that time frame. You can see what model type the emails were sent from, who they were sent to, and the name of the alert that was sent. Next, we're going to take a quick look at the audit report. All right, quick enough? I'm just kidding. So the audit report lets you track changes to fields on your records based on a specified time frame. This allows you to check multiple records at the same time, and also allows you to sort the information that you need. For instance, if you want to see all the fields that were changed by Katina Frey in this case, you could run this report for the time frame and then use Excel to sort the rows based on the changed by column. The Fluxx system glossary is probably one of the most underutilized but most valuable standard reports in Fluxx. It's useful for both seeing the front end and the back end names of the fields. You know, this is especially helpful when the front end labels may not match up with the back end names. You can use this information when you need to filter items, create letter templates, or even search for fields on a form. You can also use this to determine which fields are dynamic and which are core within your system. Since we're talking about reporting, it's also helpful to mention this report can be your best friend when building ad hoc reports. You can use this report to find the fields you need to pull into the ad hoc report builder. What we often see when reports aren't pulling in the expected information, it's because an incorrect field is being used in the report. Running this report first can help alleviate that issue. So live reports are available to all Fluxx clients that can be used to get information on a wide variety of areas in the system. They can also provide you with key system information like field names, email alert summaries, and users. Each report will open a modal that will provide you with the options to filter down your data. These can be dates, specific forms, or programs, for example. In several cases, choosing no parameters will result in a blank report, so it's always important to filter a live report to get the data that you need. Something to note about live reports is they cannot be edited, and the filters in the modal cannot be customized. They are reports built to be run as is. So again, your site is equipped with live reports, so you have access to them at any time. You can find a list of the available options and what each does on our knowledge base, or simply try them out on your site. It's very important to remember that these reports are not customizable, but what if you need flexibility or data that's not available via these reports? All right, let's explore ad hoc reporting. Live reports are rigid and unchanging, but ad hoc reports aren't. Every Fluxx instance comes equipped with the ad hoc reporting tool, which gives you access to all the different cards in your system with which to create reports with. Looking for the data on all your requests for the previous funding year? Start with a grant request type ad hoc report. Want to get a list of contacts with all their contact information to create a mailing list? You can build a user ad hoc report to help with that. Ad hoc reporting is constructed in the ad hoc builder tool depicted here. You will have access to your fields for the card type you're on, as well as a few related fields for added depth that you can drag, drop, and rearrange to form a report that you can export out of your system. What makes ad hoc reporting great is that you can create them on the fly. If you need a report for a meeting, you can drag and drop fields quickly to get the data that you need. Or if you need a report to run regularly, you can build a report right from your Fluxx instance without any added programs or technical skills. You can also use things like the one-to-many with the ad hoc builder tool. This is a great option which allows you to pull in all related records to one specific record. For example, if you need a report on all of your grants and display all associated payments for those grants, you can use the one-to-many option for that. The drop-down here will provide you with the options you can use in your reports so you can build something that's presentable and easy to read. And if you'd like to know more about this, we have an ad hoc reporting session that we'll go over in more depth on this topic. Again, with ad hoc reporting, we have access to a report builder right within Fluxx. It can help us make reports on the fly in different styles, as well as provides us with things like Excel formulas and pivot tables. One thing to note about ad hoc reports is that they are capable of using fields in Fluxx that exist as calculations, such as totals and method fields, which is a fancy way of saying fields that combine information together, such as the full name field for users. This makes it a much quicker tool to use than the Excel add-in, which will allow you to grab what you need and go. Though speaking of the Excel add-in, it is not capable of using these method fields, but it does have several powerful tools that can help you create much more in-depth reports. All right, moving on. Let's get into creating Fluxx reports in Excel. So we looked at live reports, which are not editable. We looked at ad hoc reports, which can be customized to meet your needs. Now we'll look at the even more customizable Excel reports. Excel reports begin much like an ad hoc report, as you can see here. Though creating them must be done in Excel itself. The Excel add-in includes powerful aggregation and querying tools to help you build far more complex reports than the standard ad hoc report builder. If you need reports for board meetings, quarterly gatherings, or need to do in-depth analysis of your data, then the Excel reporting option is best for you. Excel reports provide you with your Fluxx fields inside of Excel, which allows you to utilize all of Excel's native functionality. If you need charts, graphs, or formulas, you'll want to go with utilizing the Excel reports. Anything you can do in Excel can be done on your Excel template, which allows you to create truly customized reports. Now, please note that due to Microsoft's restrictions, this add-in is only available for Windows users. Report templates can only be built via Excel on a Windows computer, but any user can run and view the report regardless of their operating system. One great advantage to both ad hoc reports and Excel reports is the ability to schedule them to run automatically. You can schedule the report on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis to forego the need to manually run your standard reports every time. The scheduler gives you a wide variety of options to let you run your reports when you want, all of which will be summarized in the list view of your report. As you can see here in this list view, the report we have annotated is set to generate monthly. With Excel reports, you have so many options available to you. If you're an Excel pro, then this would be a great option for you and gives you more freedom than a standard ad hoc report. Again, note that the add-in is only available for Windows platform, and all templates must be created on a Windows computer and can be run and viewed on any operating system. So now let's get into some of the more advanced options using a secondary database or the API tool. Fluxx does have an API that is usable for a variety of options. If you have a resource dedicated to API development, you can use the Fluxx API to pull data and create reports and visualizations all to your own specifications. This option is not reliant upon the Fluxx UI, so you could do quite a lot of cool, creative things with the Fluxx API. You can also utilize a secondary database, which can connect to tools like Tableau to provide you with another reporting option outside of Fluxx. This can give you more flexibility to use the tools that you're used to and create great visualizations with your data. Again, this would require other resources to create and maintain these reports. And using a secondary database does come with an additional fee that you can discuss with your CSM. So that's everything. We went over each of these items and hope that you had a good understanding of what options are available to you. As you can see here from our chart, each option is available for different uses. There are several different ways to report using Fluxx, and mastering when to use each one will be vital to your report creation. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the overview portion of today's webinar. So now we're going to go into the Q&A section, and we'll take a look at some of the questions that have been sent in. Let's see here. We have one here that says, can anyone build a report? You know, that's a great question. You'll actually need admin rights to build a report. However, anyone with employee access can run these reports. You can consult your admin if you think you should have access to building a report. Let's see. We have one here. It says, I normally use the card export function to get data out of my Fluxx system. Is there a way to customize that? You know, you can actually build an ad hoc report and configure it so the ad hoc report you created becomes a standard export for that card model. There's a little checkbox in the ad hoc report builder that reads, use as card export. Give that a try. That may help you out. I have another one here. We touched upon this, but I think we can expand. I have a good potential solution here. It's is Excel add-in available for Mac? You know, at the time, as we mentioned, it is exclusively available for Windows machines. However, you can use emulation tools like Amazon Workspace to mimic a Windows environment so you can use the add-in on your Mac. Great questions. All right, so you guys are all reporting pros here. It looks like we've covered all the Q&A questions. So hopefully everybody had a chance. If there was anything that you didn't get a chance to ask, go ahead and contact us at support and we'll be happy to answer your questions. But today in the webinar, we went over visualizing your reporting, live reports, where you can find them, reports on the fly, ad hoc reporting, the power and how to leverage it for Excel, and then the more advanced options. So as always, to learn more and access the video recording of this webinar, you can always visit our knowledge base at fluxx.zendesk.com. There you'll be able to find a list of our upcoming webinars, links to register for future webinars, and recordings of our past webinars under training webinars. Make sure to check out our community sites for updates from the webinar team, and also let us know what topics you're interested in learning about. We have a link to our suggestion box in the community. So if you do want us to, if you want to learn more about something that we haven't covered, like a full ad hoc reporting tutorial, that's the place to let us know that we should create that content. And as always, you can always ask us here at support, and we're happy to help. I want to thank everybody for spending some time with us today. Really appreciate the opportunity to host you, and look forward to hosting you in the near future. Have a great rest of your week, everybody.